What's up, world? It's your girl Ebonée, aka the Princess of New York, and I am back. Now, today's guest might be a little recognizable to you. You've probably seen him on his own YouTube series, 5 Minutes of Twizdom. Stick around for newest friend to the show, Twiz. Welcome, newest friend to the show, Twiz.
What's good?
What is up?
Man, I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Blessed, honored to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Man, thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Man, listen, I just want to jump right up in it. Jump in the skillet.
Flip?
Just flip. No, we ain't gonna flip it yet.
Oh, not yet.
It ain't time to flip it.
Still gotta cook a little.
Exactly.
I got you. I feel you.
So I put it up in there, let it ride a little bit.
Hey.
You know, I'm not even gonna put any seasoning on it yet.
Oh, no seasoning?
Not yet.
Ooh.
I need just to get it up in there.
I feel you.
Tell my friends at home who you are.
Listen, it's your boy Twiz, audio engineer, music producer, artist, music educator, and YouTubers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back in time a little bit. Tell my friends, how did we come up with the name Twiz? Like, are you in love with Twizzlers or like?
I get that all the time. Okay. By the way, do I love Twizzlers? Actually, I'm not gonna say I don't like Twizzlers because they may be my sponsors in the future. But hey, there it is, speaking to existence. Yeah. But a long time ago, back in my football days, my name starts with a T, Tyron. Last name Williams. And they used to call me T Will. Okay. So T Will was like, I didn't really like it too much, and this is back when Snoop Dogg did the Izzles and Bizzles and for shizzles, right? Yeah. So my homeboy was like, yo, instead of T Will, you should be Twiz. I was like, I like that. Yeah. I'm gonna roll with that, and so ever since then, I've just been Twiz.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. So tell me, how did we get into the music game? Like, what cultivated your love of music? Because I know, like, starting at like around age 12, you started started making music, like dabbling. Like, what was that whole process? What, brought you into the game?
Well, you know how most at that time, I think it was like a freshman high school or going in high school, middle school. Running out, I forget.
I think it was like just ending.
Yeah. You get your friends and you get together, and guess what? Every boy wants to do. They want to rap. So, we used to rap on a karaoke machine. I used to use my grandma's gospel tapes, and this back when tapes was out. And if you didn't know, you could take 2 little tissues, roll them up, put them in the little squares, and the top of the tape, and you could record over it. Okay. So I used to take her tapes, and I would record over it and put it on my karaoke machine, and we would record raps on there. Okay. So my grandma found out about those tapes when she went to go listen to Sister Shirley Caesar. She started hearing my raps. At that time, I wasn't delivered as much as I am now. So just imagine what she's hearing.
So she told you to get the switch.
Oh, man, listen. I'm a big guy. She ain't had a switch. It's the extension cord. You got to get the extension cord. Yeah, exactly. It's got to sting a little bit. Yeah, it's got to sting a little bit. Yeah. I'm too big for the heel. I'm too big for the switch. But yeah, extension cord. The orange one.
Okay. So grandma tore it up.
Yeah, no doubt. But she always supported me though. So she gave me piano lessons so that way I could play. Okay. And she also bought me a computer. And it was a friend of mine. She was a female rapper during that time in high school. Her name was Sweet Tea. Okay. And she introduced me to Cakewalk. Okay. And once I got my Cakewalk, I ended up going and buying it to Media Play. And that's how long ago it was, Media Play. And I bought my first Cakewalk and I installed it. And next thing you know, we started rapping on the computer. And it just turned into a passion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So from there, you decided to go to school for it.
Yes. So like right at the end of my high school tenure, I ended up interning at the local radio station in Savannah, Georgia, where I'm from. Okay. And I ended up working with the industry artists and stuff like that, and working with the radio station, learning the behind the scenes. I'm like, you know what? I want to do this full time. Right. And so I left there, and I ended up going to Orlando to a school called First Institute. It's something like Full Sail, because a lot of people, when you hear Orlando, they automatically think, hey, I'm going to Full Sail. Well, it's another option other than Full Sail. Okay. It's called First Institute. And I graduated from there, and because I got that degree, I had to be more professional. So I took it more serious. And after that, just been growing.
Okay. Then from there, then you wound up in New York. Or were there a couple of stops before you came up to New York?
Yeah, I went back home to Savannah for a little while. And I had actually begun, when I first graduated from high school, getting credits at Savannah State University. Okay. So I already was halfway done there. I was like, you know what, since I'm back home in Savannah, might as well finish up my credits. So I ended up getting that degree as well, which was in audio video production.
Okay.
So learning how to tie in my audio, which I already learned into video production and creating my own things. And from there, I ended up doing like freelance work just all over the places, and I began teaching like youth at one of my freelance jobs, and that kind of just opened my door up for teaching. And then I started applying for different jobs. I ended up applying for one job, which was in New York, just off the humbug, because it wasn't even on my place to even move. It just shows you how God just makes things happen. They hit me back and was like, "Yo, we want you to come up here to teach, and we have a program that we would love for you to be over and be a director, since you know how to do music and video. We would love for you to do that." And I was like, they was like, "Word? For real?" And it was like, "Have you ever thought about New York being a part of that?" And I was like, "Nah, not even close to a thought." And it was like, "Okay, well, come on and come up here and to teach." So it was a pretty good opportunity. But long story short, because that's a whole different story in a sense.
I said, "Look, we got about 25 more minutes."
All right, good. So, no. All right, so I'm gonna tell you how this story is gonna blow your mind how this worked out, right?
Okay.
So this organization, of course, they told me I'm gonna be a director and everything, but they didn't have everything solidified yet. They were still in the process of solidifying everything. They were just asking me to be patient, and that once they got approved for everything, then I would be able to move up there. So my wife and I, we were on the phone with them so often throughout the couple of months. This was like January of last year. And the process took all the way up until probably around March, April.
Okay.
So my wife and I came up here to New York, and we were just looking for places to go. We had 3 days to find a place because I couldn't take off work because, you know what I'm saying, that's the only amount of time I could take off without it hurting. Because, you take a day or two off of work, that eat up, you know what I mean? That eat up at that point in time in my life, I couldn't do it. I couldn't afford it. Okay. But we was like, we'll sacrifice 3 days. We came up here. We looked in every borough, every Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Brooklyn, everywhere. Okay. We looked. We could not find a place. We could not find a place. And the Wednesday, we left on a Monday, and we were getting ready to leave that Wednesday. We literally, I done packed the car. We was heading back in. Next thing you know, a guy called. "Hey, are you still interested in this place?" This is the only person that called us back.
Wow, okay.
We rolled up to the place. We looked. Like, I don't know. This place looks decent, but, we were looking for...
It's not where you wanted to be.
Yeah, it's not where we wanted to be at. So I took the application for the place. Me and my wife got in the car. I was like, "We'll call you back. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it." We pulled up around the corner. My wife was like, "Park the car." She was like, "We prayed for this. We prayed that if we prayed to come up here to New York and find a house in 3 days, and this is the only person that called us back, it's meant for us to be there." Got that situated. Okay. We got a place. Okay. All right. So we done bought the truck. I done paid for some of my homies to fly up there to help me move and everything. And literally the week of that we're supposed to meet, everything fell through with the other company. Like the CEO was just, my spirit didn't sit right the way they were just explaining stuff with me. But at that time, we already done paid all this money to move. Yeah, we're here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we literally invested everything. We done loaded up the truck. Everything is ready to go. My wife looked at me. She's like, "Do you still want to go through with this?" I took a deep breath. I was like, "Man, we done invested too much. Yeah. We done invested too much." So we came up here. We moved up here. We didn't have a job. Right. I had no job. But luckily, my freelance job where I was teaching, it carried us through the summertime. Okay. But in the fall, we didn't have nothing. Okay. Nothing at all. So, it was a little scary at first.
Very, yeah.
Then I saw a job online. I applied for it. It was for a music teacher position at a school. I looked up the address for the school. Ironically, it was literally the same building where we just enrolled my daughter at. Okay. What are the chances of that?
Yes, kismet.
That's it. And I walked up to the school to talk to one of the ladies who helped me enroll my daughter in the school that's just asking about the school. And she's like, "It's your lucky day. The principal is right there. I'm talking about right there.
Man, listen.
Right there.
Yes.
Out of all times, come on, the principal's sitting right there.
Right. Principal's always in meetings in the office,
exactly.
doing this, doing that, in conferences, conventions.
Exactly. The principal's right there. She brought me over to the principal, and she was just like, hey, I have a young man here who is interested in your music teacher position. He's like, hey, yo, her face lit up. It's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Like, this is what you for? We've been looking for somebody with that. And she's like, can you come in for the interview tomorrow? Yes, I'll be here first thing. You know?
I'm here right now.
Exactly. I'm here right now. I may not just excuse me dressed. You know, I'm not dressed appropriately right now, but I'm like, yo, yeah. So we ended up having an interview, and she was like, hey, you know, we want you to have a board, and we would love for you to be there. And I ended up working like the beginning of school, the first week of school. I was end up working at the school from nothing. Man. Had no job.
Won't he do it though?
Listen.
Won't he do it?
Listen.
Oh man.
Went from not even knowing how we're gonna put meal on the table in New York.
One of the most expensive places.
Exactly. With no job. None.
Yeah, this is supposed to be.
Listen, I'm telling you.
Yes.
It's greater. It's a greater purpose for me being up here. And I'm definitely and truly blessed for the opportunity.
Amen.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna take a really quick break. We're gonna be right back with you.
No doubt.
To be honest, man, I ain't even read my paperwork. I just signed it. You see what I'm saying? Nigga being broke. That TIG, that fly, he got a check. I know he ain't finna try me. That was my mind telling myself.
Okay.
You feel me? Not saying I signed a bad contract, but like, at the end of the day, that's why we ended up doing what we had to do. So at the time, we trying to see what we're gonna do with songs, and like, I haven't been paid for like the other songs I put out. So you gotta think in my mind, I'm like, I haven't even been compensated for the good music I done did. Why the hell I'm gonna drop some for my money ain't even right by this? So let me get my business right. So when I do drop some money, I know I'll be paid.
Yo, man, that one hit hard because if you know Rich Homie Quan, when he first came out, he had a whole lot of hits, and not reading that contract really cost him a lot of money, probably more money than he would have made if he made sure everything was legit. So that comes to show you that it doesn't matter who you are. Make sure that your paperwork is on point. Get an entertainment lawyer or somebody who understands the legalities of everything that benefits you in your favor, because you don't want to get caught slipping, because at the end of the day, that's going to end up hurting you in your pockets.
Welcome back, y'all. Got my boy Twiz in the house. And that was 1 minute of Twizdom.
That's 1 minute.
Just 1 minute of Twizdom. Let's chop it up about that 1 minute.
Listen, learning about the music is really just instrumental because a lot of people don't think about the business side of the music. And that's what I try to engage with people about. Like getting all your royalties for your music. Like, listen, you're missing out on a lot of money. Especially with the industry switching from just CDs and just radio play.
It's digital now.
Exactly. Get them streams. You know, you get them streams and get paid for them too. So that's why I wanted to really harp on that so that people can understand on that.
Yeah, that's real dope. I really like that, you know, you do discuss that and talk about, you know, the business side of music.
Right.
Because that is something, and like just the business side of just creativity, period, right?
Right.
And especially music, because it's harder for musicians to make money.
It is.
You know, until you get to that status, until you get to that B, that J, you know, that Childish Gambino, you know, whomever, until you get to like A-list, it's hard.
It is.
You know what I mean? And you have to constantly be on tour and all this other kind of stuff. But as an actor, I just go and I make my money right there. And then, of course, you make your royalties and everything like that from box office and, you know, reruns and everything like that.
Right.
But then as an artist, as a music artist, you got to pay back the producer, the studio time, the this, the that, So I like that, you know, you discuss that. And, you know, do you get into that like real deep?
Yeah, actually, I started out just being more on the producer side. I stopped being an artist because I was an artist first. I started rapping first, and I stopped that to produce and make beats. But then I started reading up on the music business, and then I was like, what sense does it make for me to know all this knowledge when I don't apply it for myself? So I started to get deep into being an artist and making songs again. And because I'm a teacher now, I try to make music that not only uplifts people, but just something that you can jam. That's if it's not only positive, it's clean, or positive and clean, or just something that you could play for yourself, your mom, your kids, if you have any. anything like that people can jam to, and it still sound like some of the music that we listen to today. Because I'm from the South, so we gotta have that 808. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be slamming. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really jam anything that doesn't really have that. You know, I got some songs, but I gotta hear that funk. You know what I mean? It's gotta happen. So I was like, what if we can create a positive message or just clean to where we can talk about real life situations that's real and still sound good.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
That's the
so
goal.
we're talking like Will Smith meets like.
I don't want to say Will.
Well, you said clean. Like that's the first thing that came to mind. Will Smith meets like.
His is like. See, that's the misconception about clean music. Everybody thinks it has to sound Will Smithish. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing's wrong with, you know.
I mean, getting jiggy with it. You're not really jamming that in the car yourself.
I was jamming.
Listen, it was good when you dancing and stuff. You know, Wild Wild West. Like he got songs he got songs. You know what I'm saying? Men in Black. You know, I love Men in Black, but that ain't something you jamming to. That's that joint. Exactly. But those are situational songs. You know, that's not songs like you getting ready to go to the club or you getting ready to go somewhere and turn up. You ain't listening to Will. You know what I'm saying? You're not listening to Will.
All right.
So you got to have something that kind of sounds like Future, but
Big Sean.
Yeah, Big Sean. I love Big Sean. I love Big Sean. Big Sean's one of my favorite artists.
All right.
Something that sounds like him, but just cool. Yeah, that's clean. You know what I mean? There's a guy called Aaron Cole. You know, he's dope. He sound like Drake.
Okay.
But he spit and he sang and it's clean. You know,
is that the Christian artist? That's not the Christian artist.
Yes, he's actually a Christian artist. Yeah.
Okay.
Now look at you. Look at you.
My stuff.
Yes, he's a Christian artist. But not every song he talk about God. See, a lot of people think clean gotta mean just speaking on God. No, you don't have to, because not everybody believe in God. So you know, you ain't gotta force nobody to listen to nothing like that, but still make music where I could jam. Yeah. And he talk about real life situations. So that's the realm that I'm trying to be in right there.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, NF was like that too. NF was deemed a Christian rapper, but at the same time, Christianity people didn't claim him because he talked about a lot of dark stuff. And so that's when he crossed over, and that's when that's sorry I am. You know what I mean? That song, and that blew him up. Okay. But he don't curse. He clean. So
yeah, you don't need to curse just to get your point across.
You don't. We can have a whole conversation. I don't curse one time, and you can still be intrigued by my conversation.
Exactly. So, we've been talking all this time. We ain't
facts. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Why not? We could joke about stuff too. You know what I mean? And it don't be super inappropriate. So,
right.
Why not?
All right. So let's spin the dial a little bit. Let's go to your inspirations.
Ooh.
You know, your inspirations as an artist, because you were an artist first. Right. And does being an artist help you tap into the realm of production because you know what you want to hear as an artist? Or is that like just a completely different side? But let's talk about your inspirations as an artist, as a producer, business side.
Right. So what you said about the artist and the producer is correct, but flip it. Okay. So being that I was a producer and an artist, I can now change up my flavor and how I want things to sound because I'm a producer.
Right. So artists have to know where something's gonna click and hit, you know how to do it and like count exactly.
Okay. You know what I mean? So anybody who's an artist producer, they have an advantage because they know how to create the music. They know how things are supposed to sound. And then, as an artist, you just come in and you just do it. But there are people that are separate. There's artists that are kind of like producers, like they know how things are supposed to sound, but they can't explain it.
Right, they
can't put it together.
Right,
they cannot. They just know what it's supposed to sound like. So those are artists that are kind of have producer-like qualities, but they can't harness it. And then there's producers that are really good at bringing other artists. I mean, I look at DJ Khaled. He's good at bringing other artists and finding them on the right beat, but he probably can't rap. Okay. I don't know if he can or not, but I just know. I haven't heard it, but he's not rapping. You know what I mean? He don't have to. I can find you who's a good rapper and find you who's a singer. We'll throw y'all on the track. I know what y'all supposed to sound like. I can't do it, but I can do it.
Right.
So that's how that correlates right there. And as far as inspiration, man, really being about what I'm talking about. So I can't sit here and say you should listen to positive music. You should do clean music and stuff like that when I personally don't listen to it. So I had to really buy into what I was selling. You know what I mean? I had to listen to nothing but clean music. I don't curse. I don't listen to things that may be talking about negative things. I had to create music I had to switch my whole life around. You know what I mean? For me to actually be in the role of what I'm talking about. Because you're not gonna believe me if I'm rolling up hearing curse bombs and stuff like that. They gonna be like, all right, man, you talking about this, but then I don't want to be the hypocrite. So I had to really start living the life that I'm preaching. So that's what inspires me to really be an artist now. Because I want to create, I want to add to it. I can complain about it all day, but if I'm not doing nothing to contribute to that,
right, make that change. Be the change.
Exactly. You have to be the change. You know what I mean? I had to do something to contribute to that, to where people can start listening to better things and doing better things. So that way, when it's all said and done, they'll be like, you know what? Twiz talked about it. He was about it. He lived it, and he breathed it.
Right.
And that's it.
Was there a specific thing that altered you to make you want to just focus on clean? Like, were you always focused on you weren't always focused on the clean, because that's why grandma had to get the cord on you.
Absolutely not. Because you got to think about it. You got to think about it as, and I deal with a lot of high schoolers now, and that's when I first started doing music. A lot of times we emulate what we see.
Yes.
So the industry pushes out rappers and stuff like that that's making music that we think, where they talking about bees and calling each other N-bombs and all this stuff. So guess what we do? Because we consume all that. We rap about that. Ain't picked up a brick a day in my life, but I guarantee you probably could pull a song talking about I'm carrying the keys in the whip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just what we do. That's just how the youth is. That looks cool. He got all these women and stuff like that. That's validation. Man, he got it. He made it. He making money. He got women. But a lot of people don't know that behind the scenes, this is why the business part is really good. The cars they have, they're rented. The homes they got, they rented. You know what I'm saying? The people they're with, they're models. They're hired.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's a facade to get people to think that, oh, this is what is validated as us. And then us as the culture, as black men, we don't have a lot of role models that looks appealing and entertaining. Because when you think about doing the right thing, you think about a square. You think about somebody that's not having a fun life. They don't take risks. They don't do the entertaining things. You ain't got a bunch of girls, so you know.
It's corny. Think about your Carltons.
Yeah, exactly. Your Carltons. It's like, that's not me. But there's people that do good things that can finesse and dress and maybe have certain things and can do certain things that's entertainment to where it don't look like it's dull. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you really have to look at right there when it comes to that stuff. The real one that kind of made me go just clean was when one of my kids asked me what a stripper was. And the song that came out, somebody come get her, he's dancing like a, you know what I'm saying? And when my child came and asked me that, that made me think, wow, I need to change up what I'm listening to. I need to be the difference in what they're listening to and what and it's hard to do that now in this kind of world because they have access to so much different stuff. And parents, there's a lot of parents that's not hip on it. They're not on TikTok. They're not on Instagram and stuff and Spotify. They're not monitoring what they're listening to 24/7. It's hard to.
Right. And everything's just so digital these days. Exactly. It's just just go here, play with my phone.
Exactly.
Go play on my phone.
That'll get them to shut up. They're over there playing on their phone and listening to inappropriate stuff. And I had to get on my kids too. I'm not perfect. I had to get on my kids too. They'll that's why I'm on TikTok, to kind of show them, okay, look, you can have fun on TikTok, but you ain't gotta really listen to inappropriate stuff. And their argument was, it's just a song. It's just a song. Everybody listens to it.
What are the implications of that song?
Exactly.
What are the
they don't even know. They don't even know. Right. But they know the lyrics
inside and out, backwards, up, down, left, right.
Exactly. They know all the lyrics to everything, and to them it's just a song. But I try to tell them, like, listen,
But do you know what you're singing?
Exactly.
What are you saying?
You don't know what you're saying.
And words are power and energy.
Straight up. And you're speaking it to existence of your own destruction, and you don't even know it.
Yes.
And nobody's telling you, because mom and dad is probably in there listening to the same thing. Oh, it's cute. Look at little J Quill. He over there dancing to this. You know what I'm saying? And they think it's cute, but they don't look at the long-term effect of that. Now they're thinking that's the norm. And I'm a product of that too. Listen, I'm not saying that I've always listened to just the righteous stuff. No, I used to listen. Listen, I'm 33 years old, about to be 34. I grew up with NWA. I grew up with Tupac's and the Biggies. I grew up when the 99 2000, because when that song dropped, you already know what time it is. I grew up with all that. You feel me? I grew up with it. I was there. You know what I'm saying? Cash Money, Lil Wayne, you know, all of that. Like that was my music. But at the end of the day, what they were saying, a lot of that stuff, it ain't right. It ain't right, bro. So that's what really inspired me to kind of flip that switch. To go that way.
Now, I know off camera we were kind of talking about, you know, perfectionism as a creative.
Oh my gosh.
And man, that is something that I struggle with. That is something that.
What's your sign?
Capricorn.
Okay, you close. I'm a Virgo. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we're perfectionists too.
Yeah. I got a lot of Virgo friends.
There you go. Yeah. It's the energy.
Man, look. Virgos and Capricorns, we rock well together.
That's it.
Shout out to my girl Riz.
Hey.
Love you, boo.
I don't know you, but hey. A lot of I was like that too. Like the perfectionist for me was I didn't put out a lot of stuff because it wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's not supposed to go that way. It's supposed to go this way. You're supposed to say this. I can't put this out right now because this doesn't look the way I want to. And my wife had to be like, she was like, you're procrastinating. I'm like, no, I'm not. I know what it is that I want, and when I put it out, it's going to look good. But see, I didn't realize that until I actually watched one of my partners, and he told me, he was like, you know, she's right? I'm like, don't tell me that. Don't tell me she's right. Exactly. You're supposed to be on my side. Exactly. But he was like, nah, man. The reason why that you put out imperfection is because the people can grow with you. They can see what your crappy video looked like when you first put that out, and when you get on point, is growth. It shows that you have grown from one point to another point. If you come out strong, you setting the bar higher for yourself.
True.
And you have to keep that up.
True.
And if you have to try to keep that up, you're going to stress yourself out because you set the bar so high for yourself that you have no room to grow. Yeah. And ever since then, sometimes like small imperfections, now don't get it twisted. You want to present yourself in a way that's professional, that people can take you seriously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to just be like, you know what? Put it out. Because if you think about it, a lot of the things that were less serious is successful. You know what I mean? Like, so I hate to bring up the stripper thing again, but when T-Pain, I'm in love with a stripper, that song was just him playing. It wasn't serious. It was not a serious song. It wasn't even meant to come. Yes,
smash hit.
It wasn't even because he just came off of Armstrong.
Right.
And you know everybody, didn't nobody else care with that. But when he came out with "I'm in Love with a Stripper," like that song was a play song and it blew. Jamie Foxx, "Blame It on the Alcohol," was a play song. He just did it. He just got in there, blaming on the. They was like, "Yo, you should record that."
No, Jamie, I could believe that.
Yeah, exactly. You should record that. And then, what's the smile? I'm living my best life. Come on, he really can't sing, but it sounds good.
It does.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But that's what
comes from imperfection.
Exactly. Most of the greatest people is because they're either done something by accident or. I mean, we could take it all the way back. Thomas Edison, you know what I'm saying? Benjamin Franklin, you know what I'm saying? Creating the light bulb and stuff.
That stuff, that was taken from somebody else, actually.
I mean, we could go there. I'm just saying. But it was created by accident. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing that they did. It's like they try to create it for a purpose. But, it was like, oh, snap. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff that we do that is imperfection that we create, and it turns out to be better than if we really tried to do it. Like the MJ shot, he shot him. Come on, he made that shot. He probably was just like, I'm gonna just whatever.
Yeah, let me just get it.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's why he was like, I don't know, bro. So yeah. So that's really what it is. Like we put too much stress on ourselves to be perfect, and there's no need to be perfect because. The people who gonna rock with you, they gonna rock with you because they love who you are, the energy you put out. Your energy you put out, no matter what you do, no matter if you're at your best or if you're at your worst, the energy you put out, somebody's gonna reciprocate that, and they're gonna be with you around. And then you're gonna have your haters. Oh, look at this dot right here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right, yeah. Look at that little smidget right there. Oh, look, she's over here. He got a booger in his nose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She messed up her line.
Yeah, it's gonna be people that do that. But at the end of the day, are they doing what you're doing?
Right.
The answer is probably no.
Right.
Are they taking the time to sit in front of a computer and edit the stuff themselves, invest in their computer, invest in their cameras?
Yeah.
And that stuff ain't cheap, bro.
No,
that stuff ain't cheap. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? But if you got time, just like my grandma used to always tell me, she's like, somebody who's walking should never criticize somebody with a car. Never. They'd be like, oh man, you got a hoopty, you got.
But I'm getting a point A and B and everything in between.
What you doing? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah.
So after that, I stopped trying to be perfect.
Okay.
And I smile a lot more too, because I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Man, listen, I'm still working on that.
No doubt.
It's hard.
Listen. I saw you pat your hair about 30 times before you got on it.
I don't even look. I can't. It's rocking today, though. I'm feeling it. I hope y'all feeling it too.
Hey, listen, see.
But listen, no, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like when you thought of that look, when you thought of how you was gonna throw them earrings on and have the shirt on, you were already perfect because you already manifested. I'm about to look good today.
Yes.
Once you already spoke that in existence, it's already done. That's it.
Manifesting, we were talking about that too.
Facts, man.
Right, and that's the thing too. Like when you manifest certain things, how come when we speak certain things into existence, we just know what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
But then other things we kind of have doubt about it, right? But we
Man,
kind of waver on that. We have fear about that, right? And I do that all the time. But
I do that too.
Perfection is like a big thing because there's so much that I'm supposed to put out, but I haven't put out yet.
Just
because of that perfection. It's like, no, I need to have that right scene and that background has to be there and I know I want the scene to look like this, so I need some extras and I need to do this and no.
If you go look at one of my 5 Minutes of Twizdom, my first time being on the green screen, I wasn't going to put it up because I had did it in front of my window and it was during the daytime. Okay. So when the sun was like going in and out, so because the sun when it came out, you could see the window in the back of my green screen.
Okay.
So I threw a background on it and it's kind of like you can kind of see where the sunlight came in and it looks weird. It looks weird like the background's disintegrating a little bit. I wasn't going to put it out, but the content was real good.
Right.
The content was real good. I was like, I can't put that out like that. And it was like, you let that content go to waste if you want to because you are on that. If anybody focuses on that, then what you are saying, then the content ain't good enough.
Exactly.
And I was like, you sure? Like, yeah. And most people was like, you got some people joking, hey, what's wrong with your green screen? I was like, hey, man, I was trying to put it together. I laugh with it. I was like, I try to put it together the way it looks good. But, hey, I learned that day, don't make sure you cover the windows so that way you can have your green screen on point. So, but at the end of the day, did you enjoy the episode? Yeah, it was good content. You know what I'm saying?
Did you receive what I was
That's it, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no such thing as a perfect condition.
Right.
Some of our greatest things that we learn is through pandemonium. It's not perfect when we learn stuff.
Right.
When we learn stuff, it's chaos.
Yes.
You want to know how to ride the bike perfectly? Fall a couple times.
Yeah. And then keep riding.
Exactly.
And then just keep trying.
That's it, man.
That's it.
Fail a couple times. Everything, I told one of my partners this. I was like, everything we got in here is because we solved the problem. We got lighting. Why? Because, man, it's dark as a mug in here. We got a mic. Why? Because they need to hear us a little bit better. We got a new camera. Why? Because the old camera's looking fuzzy. Just all of these are just solving problems to do what we need to do.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, I want you to give some of my friends at home some gems.
Some gems.
Whew.
The gems. Man. Listen, one of the greatest things that I've learned this year is to have faith. And the reason why I say have faith, is because we can only control what we can control. We're made in a God-like image. We can control things we can touch. We can control things that making decisions. But at the end of the day, we can't control what may happen the next day. So just have faith. Whatever it is that you have, just have faith in whatever you're going to have. Like I grew 5 Minutes of Twizdom out of nowhere. It started off as audio. I invested in myself to get video. And it turned into be something that I would have never imagined. And if I would have just kept the mindset of, man, I don't know how I'm going to get this video. I might as well stop doing it because right now it's not looking like I'm going to be able to do it. If I didn't have that faith, I got here to New York off of faith. I had no job.
Oh, that was
I had no job.
faith.
Listen, you got to take it. You'll miss out on so many blessings because you're scared to do something. Guess what? Try 110%. If you fail, if it don't happen, at least you can say you try, and you can sleep better at night. Because the worst thing is being 60. Would've, could've, should've. It's too late.
Right.
So that's my gems for the day. I know that's probably was different, but
no,
that's
I like
just what
that.
I was feeling.
Well, we don't need the same gems. I mean, I want a whole jewelry box. Like, I need it all.
There it is.
But listen, tell my friends at home how to find you.
Yes.
Social media, everything.
No doubt. Well, follow your boy on IG. That's Twizzleman, TWIZZLEMAN56. Also subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes.
Certified Banga 100 TV. Banga is spelled BANGA. And just that's where you can find me the most. That's where I'm at.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, ain't there an ebook?
Yes.
The ebook.
Listen, how could I forget that? See, the reason why I forget it because I just created it 2 days ago. Like it just happened 2 days ago.
Okay.
And since we're on this show,
yes.
Listen, it's not dropping until March, right? But if you can subscribe to this channel, and then come subscribe to my channel, you can get the ebook for the 5 Minutes of Twizdom on how to get all your royalties for free.
For free.
For free. Free 99.
Free.
For free ski.
Free.
The link's down in the description below. Click it. Get that royalties.
Get it. All right. Now, make sure you follow my new friend, Twiz. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, your girl, Ebonée Forever. Make sure that you are following my channel, Ms. Ebonée Online. And until next time, y'all, stay fabulous. Peace.
Straight up. As long as my skin look chocolate.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta make sure the melanin popping. You see, I put hashtag melanin all the time.
You got to.
Like, look.
Ain't nothing but chocolate up in here.
I'm telling you.
That's good.